Have you ever wondered what it really means to be intelligent? True intelligence isn't just about knowing more facts than others. It's about the ability to use that knowledge to navigate life's challenges with wisdom. As Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Life is like a play. It's not about how long it lasts, but how well it is performed." In this video, we're going to explore 10 Stoic secrets that can help you become smarter than most people. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live more fully and mindfully. In a world full of distractions and uncertainty, this philosophy offers a unique perspective that can transform not only how we think, but also how we act. Over the next few minutes, we'll dive into some fundamental Stoic concepts that will help you develop a clearer and more resilient mind. Why is this so important? Because in times of crisis and chaos, the ability to stay calm and rational is a real advantage. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. This acceptance isn't about giving up, it's about freedom. By learning to distinguish what matters from what doesn't, you can make wiser decisions and act with greater confidence. In this video, you'll learn how to apply Stoic principles in your everyday life. We'll talk about how the practice of daily reflection can help you stay focused and mentally clear. We'll explore the importance of virtue and how it connects to true happiness. You'll also discover the art of Stoic meditation, a powerful tool to cultivate serenity and emotional resilience. Plus, we'll discuss how to deal with negative emotions and turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Through practicing detachment and gratitude, you can change the way you see life and your experiences. By the end of this video, you won't just understand the 10 secrets of Stoicism, you'll feel inspired to bring them into your life. Get ready to expand your mind and become the best version of yourself. After all, as the Stoics teach us, wisdom is a lifelong journey, and true intelligence lies in the ability to learn and adapt. Let's take this journey of self-discovery and growth together. Stoicism, one of the most influential philosophical schools of ancient Greece, began in the early 3rd century BC in Athens. Founded by Zeno of Citium, this philosophy grew out of a mix of traditions, including Cynicism and Socratic philosophy. Over the centuries, notable thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius helped shape Stoicism and spread its teachings. Seneca, a Roman statesman and playwright, emphasized reason and virtue. Epictetus, a former slave, taught that true freedom comes from accepting what we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote his personal reflections in Meditations, where he explored how to apply Stoic principles in daily life, focusing on resilience and self-control. Today, Stoicism resonates with many people, especially in a world full of constant uncertainty and challenges. Modern life is filled with stress, anxiety, and social pressures, and Stoic philosophy offers valuable tools to handle these difficulties. For example, during economic crises or times of loss, many feel overwhelmed. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. This dichotomy of control is fundamental. While our actions and reactions are ours to govern, external circumstances often are not. By focusing on what we can change, we face adversity with greater calm. Stoicism also invites us to reflect on life's impermanence and the inevitability of death. This acceptance might seem grim, but it's actually freeing. Recognizing that our time is limited encourages us to value each moment and live more intentionally. In a world where distractions are constant and instant gratification rules, Stoic principles guide us to adopt a deeper, more meaningful perspective on life. A modern example showing Stoicism's relevance is the pressure to succeed in a competitive job market. Many feel pushed to meet external expectations, which can lead to anxiety and self-doubt. Applying the dichotomy of control helps us see that outcomes aren't entirely in our hands. We can work hard and prepare, but success might depend on factors beyond us. That doesn't mean we give up. It means we focus on what we can do, on our efforts and process, rather than obsessing only over results. The practice of gratitude is another Stoic principle that proves really useful today. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we can choose to recognize and appreciate what we already have. This focus on the present helps us build a more positive and resilient mindset, even during tough times. When we face challenges, remembering the things we're grateful for can give us the strength to keep going. So, applying Stoic principles in everyday situations can help us stay calm and balanced, making us smarter in how we handle life. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom isn't just about knowledge, it's about how we put that knowledge into practice in our daily choices and actions. By developing a Stoic mindset, we become more adaptable and better prepared to face life's ups and downs. Reflecting on the importance of reason, Stoicism shows us that while emotions are natural, they shouldn't control our decisions. Instead of letting anger or frustration take over, we can choose to respond with calm and clarity. This ability to keep reason front and center in tough situations is one of Stoicism's great legacies, and it's something we can practice every day. Plus, Stoicism encourages us to practice virtue in all parts of life. That means being honest, fair, and responsible, not just toward others but also toward ourselves. When we live according to our values, we find a sense of purpose and meaning that helps us face challenges with a clearer, more focused mind. Meditation and reflection, habits often encouraged by the Stoics, also play a key role in our pursuit of a smarter, more balanced life. Taking time to think about our experiences and what we've learned helps us develop greater self-awareness and understanding. This lets us make more intentional, informed choices instead of just reacting on impulse. Finally, by integrating Stoic teachings into our daily lives, we not only become more resilient, but also more empathetic and understanding toward others. As we learn to manage our own emotions and challenges, we become better able to support those around us. This connection with others is essential for building a strong, supportive community where everyone can thrive. In short, Stoicism offers valuable lessons that remain relevant today. By understanding its historical roots and the wisdom of thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, we can apply these principles to modern life, facing uncertainty and challenges with calm and intelligence. Through practicing the dichotomy of control, gratitude, and reflection, we can cultivate a Stoic mindset that allows us to live more meaningfully and balanced. Becoming smarter in how we approach life doesn't just improve our own well-being, it also helps create a more harmonious and resilient world. In the context of Stoicism, one key concept to highlight is the importance of virtue and wisdom. For the Stoic philosophers, virtue is the only true source of happiness and well-being. They believed that no matter what happens outside, true wealth lies in the character and virtues we cultivate. Wisdom, meanwhile, is the ability to see what's true and valuable, allowing us to make decisions that lead to a fuller, more meaningful life. When we face adversity, like stress at work or personal conflicts, practicing virtue and wisdom becomes even more important. For example, imagine you're overwhelmed with deadlines and pressure at work. In moments like that, the virtue of courage helps us handle pressure better. Instead of giving in to stress, we remember that courage lets us act clearly even in the chaos. Cultivating this virtue helps us stay focused and make rational decisions instead of reacting impulsively. Another practical example is dealing with personal conflicts. When we disagree with someone, it's easy to let anger or frustration take control. But wisdom teaches us that real victory isn't about winning the argument, it's about preserving the relationship and finding a constructive solution. This approach calls for empathy and humility, virtues that help us see the other person's point of view and find common ground. Looking at the Stoic philosophers' view, we see they deeply valued virtue as a life guide. Seneca, for example, stressed that virtue alone is enough for happiness. He believed that by cultivating qualities like temperance, justice, and wisdom, we can face any challenge with dignity and balance. This Stoic practice isn't just theoretical. It brings real benefits in daily life. When we commit to living by our principles, we feel an inner peace and mental clarity that empowers us to handle life's difficulties more effectively. The practice of emotional detachment is one of the most powerful concepts Stoicism offers. At the core of this philosophy is the idea that our emotions are often tied to external factors beyond our control. When we cling to those emotions, we end up giving our well-being to circumstances and people outside our influence. Emotional detachment teaches us to keep a healthy distance between ourselves and the things that affect us, so we can respond more rationally and calmly to tough situations. Here's a practical example. Imagine you worked really hard for a promotion at your job, but didn't get it. The disappointment can be overwhelming, and it's easy to get caught up in frustration or feelings of inadequacy. However, by practicing emotional detachment, you recognize that your worth isn't tied to that promotion. You reflect on what you learned during the process, the skills you developed, and how those experiences can benefit you later. This mindset helps you stay calm and focused, so you keep moving toward your goals without getting stuck in negative emotions. Another example is dealing with loss, like the death of a loved one. Grieving is natural, but emotional detachment can help you handle that pain in a healthier way. Instead of letting sadness consume you, you remember the good times you shared and appreciate the lessons that person taught you. The Stoics believed life is fleeting and everything we have is temporary. Accepting this helps us enjoy the moments without becoming prisoners of pain. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, showed this practice in his writings. He often reflected on life's impermanence and the importance of focusing on what we can control. In his meditations, he reminds us that by detaching from things outside our control, we can find inner peace. Aurelius lived this philosophy daily, facing political and personal challenges with a calm mind. He understood that his reaction mattered more than the circumstances themselves. This approach helped him get through turbulent times while keeping his emotional balance. Emotional detachment also teaches us to distinguish what truly matters from what's superficial. Often we cling to expectations and desires that don't really impact our happiness. Stoicism invites us to rethink our priorities and focus on what genuinely gives life meaning. That might mean letting go of toxic relationships, dropping the endless chase for approval, or detaching from material things that don't bring real satisfaction. The freedom that comes from emotional detachment is transformative. It lets us live more authentically, making choices that reflect our values and purpose, instead of being driven by outside pressures or others' expectations. When we detach, we make room for self-compassion and self-acceptance. That doesn't mean we shouldn't feel emotions. It means learning to manage them so they don't control us. Practicing emotional detachment also helps us build resilience. Life has its ups and downs, and those who can detach from specific outcomes are better equipped to handle setbacks. They bounce back faster, learn from experience, and keep moving forward. This resilience is a valuable quality that can make us stronger leaders and more balanced people. Though detachment can be tough, especially in a world that often encourages us to cling to things and people, it's a skill that can be developed. Starting small is a good way to begin. For example, You might start noticing your emotional reactions in everyday situations and ask yourself, what can I really control here? That simple question can open the door to a new way of seeing things. As you become more aware of your emotional patterns, you can work on letting go of attachments that no longer serve you. This might mean detaching from specific outcomes in your career, relationships that don't align with your values anymore, or even material things that don't bring you joy. The path of detachment isn't about becoming indifferent. It's about finding a healthy balance that lets you live fully without being a hostage to your emotions. Emotional detachment also helps us see others with more compassion. When we understand that everyone faces their own struggles and that emotions are part of the human experience, we can connect more genuinely and supportively. This strengthens our relationships and helps create a more positive environment around us. By integrating this practice into our lives, we become smarter, not just emotionally, but also in how we make decisions. Emotional detachment gives us clarity that lets us see situations more objectively, helping us choose paths that truly benefit us. This clarity is one of the keys to being smarter than others, because it allows us to act wisely, even in the toughest circumstances. In short, practicing emotional detachment is a core pillar of Stoicism that can profoundly transform our lives. By learning to let go of emotions and circumstances beyond our control, we cultivate a life of balance, resilience, and self-compassion. This journey isn't easy, but the rewards make us stronger and wiser, enabling us to face life's challenges with a clear mind and a light heart. Stoicism teaches us the importance of living according to nature, a fundamental idea that helps us understand our place in the world and act more consciously and rationally. For the Stoics, living in harmony with nature means accepting reality as it is, recognizing that some forces are beyond our control. This leads us to reflect on what we really can change and what we need to accept. A Stoic philosopher named Athenodorus of Tarsus emphasized that wisdom lies in understanding the natural order of things and aligning our actions with that order. When we talk about living according to nature, we mean recognizing that we are part of something bigger. Our roles in society, our responsibilities, and even our emotions are connected to the world around us. Accepting our role means we're not here to fight against the current, but to navigate it with integrity. That can be tough, especially in a world that often pushes individualism and cutthroat competition. But by embracing that we're part of something greater, we can find a sense of purpose to guide our daily actions. Acting with integrity and rationality naturally follows from this understanding. When we live according to nature, our decisions are based on solid principles rather than impulsive reactions. This helps us face life's challenges with clearer vision, without being swept away by fleeting emotions or outside pressure. A practical example is conflict situations. Instead of reacting defensively or aggressively, a Stoic tries to understand the other person's point of view, seeking common ground and peaceful solutions. This approach not only helps resolve conflicts more effectively, but also fosters healthier, more meaningful relationships. Quotes from Stoic philosophers can guide us on this journey of living in harmony with nature. For instance, Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This reminds us that courage to accept what we cannot change is the first step toward inner peace. Epictetus taught us, it's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. This highlights how shaping our perceptions and reactions is crucial. By realizing we can control our response, not the situation, we find a clearer path to living in harmony with nature. Acceptance is a key part of this process. Accepting reality doesn't mean giving up. It's a form of liberation. When we free ourselves from the need to control everything around us, we can focus on our actions and how best to respond to challenges. This fits perfectly with the Stoic idea that true freedom comes from within. By cultivating a mind that accepts what can't be changed, we create space for inner transformation and personal growth. It's also important to note that living according to nature involves a commitment to ethics and morality. Stoic rationality drives us to act ethically, considering not just our own desires, but also how our actions affect others and the world. This pushes us to think about the consequences of our choices and how they align with our core values. Stoicism invites us to be agents of positive change in our communities, promoting actions that contribute to the common good. When we talk about living in harmony with nature, we can't forget the importance of gratitude. Appreciating what we have and recognizing life's little blessings helps us cultivate a more positive mindset. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the power of gratitude and acknowledging daily blessings. This practice keeps us grounded and helps us find joy in life's simple moments, even during tough times. Living according to nature also encourages us to develop resilience. Life is full of uncertainties and challenges, and the ability to stand firm in the face of adversity is a valuable quality. Stoicism teaches us that by accepting difficulties as part of the human experience, we can face them with courage and determination. This allows us not just to survive, but to thrive through life's storms. A common Stoic practice is meditating on death and life's transience. This reflection reminds us of how fragile life is and how important it is to make the most of every moment. Living in tune with nature makes us more aware of the present and what really matters. This awareness helps us value relationships, seek meaningful experiences, and live more fully. In conclusion, living according to nature is an invitation to introspection and conscious action. By accepting our role in the world, acting with integrity, and aligning ourselves with Stoic principles, we find a path to wisdom and inner peace. Through the words of philosophers like Athenodorus, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, we're inspired to pursue a life that not only respects nature, but lives in harmony with it. By applying these teachings daily, we become not just smarter but more human, discovering a greater purpose in life. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us to cultivate wisdom and emotional intelligence. And today, you've learned 10 secrets that can help you become smarter than others. Philosophers like Athenodorus of Tarsus showed us that true intelligence goes beyond knowledge. It's about understanding and managing our reactions to life situations. By applying Stoic principles every day, we can face challenges with calm and clarity. Practices like daily reflection let us evaluate our experiences and learn from them, while focusing on what's within our control helps us avoid unnecessary worries. Meditating on impermanence teaches us to value the present moment and act with purpose. By cultivating virtue and reason, we become more resilient and better equipped to make wise decisions, even during hard times. I encourage you to start applying these teachings in your life today. Begin practicing gratitude, reflection, and discipline. By subscribing to our channel, you join a community committed to growth and wisdom. Leave your comments about how Stoicism has impacted your life, and share this video with others who want to become smarter and more balanced. Remember Seneca's words, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Be prepared. Practice Stoic principles and watch how your life transforms. The journey to wisdom starts now. Don't miss your chance to become the best version of yourself. Apply these Stoic secrets and get inspired to live more consciously and intentionally.